I challenge you. Blair Walnuts, let's see it. Have 5 to 10 bags of popcorn and then tell me how much you eat afterwards. Are you up for the challenge? Let's see you do it. Coach Greg and I watched one of the worst videos I've ever watched in my entire life, and it was made by Blair Walnuts. She's trying to help people to lose weight, but unfortunately, she did so in such a horrible manner that I just have to speak out about it. I would say 90% of the comments said, Blair, we love you. You used to be great, but you goofed on this one. This is horrible advice. It's reminiscent of somebody suffering from ED or on the cusp of it. If you watch this video, you will think she probably has an ED, problem with eating and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to say it. Don't want to trigger people. And a warning. If you're suffering from body image issues and so on, this is not the video to watch. This is a horrible video. So horrible that comment after comment was saying how bad it was. Blair read the comments, posted this. I see your comments on this video and I understand them, and I sincerely appreciate you guys taking the time to comment and give your opinions, advice. I'm going to address them in the next video instead of deleting them, and I'm sorry if I misspoke and gave you the wrong impression. Love you guys. And of course, it wasn't all bad. There was some good information in there, such as eating low-calorie dense foods, fruits and vegetables, things like that to help you feel full. That's good. But for the most part, it's bad. And I'm thinking, where do I even start? And I'll tell you where. The thumbnail. Let's start with the thumbnail. Before and after, typical before and after. Fat on the left, skinny on the right. She could have had the before as the after and said skinny on the right, and I would have said, wow, amazing. Look at her after photo. But she literally has her fat while looking incredible, 9.9 on the Richter scale, super attractive, gorgeous woman, and she thinks she's fat. Imagine you have poor self-esteem, poor body image. You see that, you see fat. A picture of a gorgeous woman who's in shape, who claims to be fat when she's not. And in the picture, not smiling, fat, and in the after, smiling, looking happy or skinny. Kind of like you have to be skinny to be happy. And if you have even a micro portion of body fat, then you're fat and ugly and you're unhappy. No gym, no calorie counting. No encouragement to do cardio, to be healthy, to be fit. No gym, just get skinny. Next, let's look at the title. How to lose weight fast. Losing weight shouldn't be fast. Shouldn't be fast. The slower you lose it, the better. If you're trying to lose weight too quickly, you're going to lose muscle, you're going to be starving, have no energy, and likely to rebound, and 95% of diets fail. 20 pounds in 3 months, and I watched the video, and it was 17 pounds in 2 months without going to the gym. By just, starving yourself. How else do you lose that kind of weight? You lose weight by being in a calorie deficit. So she's going to show people how to be in a calorie deficit without actually tracking your macros or counting calories. Just doing these techniques, many of which are techniques used by people who suffer from ED. And if you try these techniques, it very well could lead down a slippery slope and spiral into an ED. That is not something we want. So now, let's go into the video and see just how horrendous some of this information actually is. And remember, I'm not hating on her. She did the best that she could to try to help other people to lose weight. It's just not the right way. She doesn't know better. And see, that's the thing. You see how good this person looks? And you see how many followers she has? So people think she knows what she's doing. Just because you have a large following and you have extremely gifted genetics and look incredible doesn't mean you have quality information that people should follow. And I was very happy to see that the majority of comments were calling her out and saying, this is not good information. That made me happy because what I'm seeing is more people are learning that this kind of advice is nonsense. So good on you, the people in the comments section.
So basically, number one, the most important thing that I think that I do is intermittent fast.
Intermittent fast. So she gets up, has a bunch of coffees, and that's fine. But when does she break her fast? When she's starving to the point that she wants to break up with her boyfriend, fire her editors, and she's out of control. So she starves herself, to the point of I'm losing my mind, and then she eats. Does that sound good? How long do you think you'll be able to keep that up?
I have water throughout the day, and then when I actually get really hungry, like I feel like I'm gonna break up with my 17 boyfriends, flee the country, fire all my editors, then I decide it's finally time to eat.
She's literally describing just how starving she is. She pushes it to the break of, I can't do it anymore. Then she breaks her fast. Does that sound like good advice to you?
At that point, I will eat anything I feel like, but usually it's fruit or eggs.
So she starves herself to the point of losing her mind, and then when she does get to eat, she pretty much feels she has to eat fruit or eggs. It's not a lot of choice. She's saying, oh, I can eat anything I want, yet it's fruit or eggs. Not good.
So I try not to eat highly caloric foods, or I don't eat a lot of them.
And tip number 2, I never really saw anything wrong with this. It was essentially to eat low-calorie dense foods that have less calories so that you're more full. That I don't see as problematic. She's trying to limit really high calorie things like chocolate bars and ice cream, anything that has a ton of calories. She's just trying to eat less of those. So not bad. Tip number 2, I'm okay with. She then goes on to describe her sponsor, which is a editing format, and that she edits her photos so that they're more dramatic, so that they're more clickbaity in the thumbnail, because other people do it, so she has to do it to keep up with them.
So if I don't edit my body and it's not drastic and nobody's interested, even if I have a good message in the video, if nobody clicks on it and nobody hears my good message, what's the point of my good message, right?
She's still doing it. She knows it's bad, and she's doing it on purpose to get more clicks, because people need to see the dramatic before and after. Fat, skinny, even though she clearly looks amazing in both photos.
Even though I know sometimes it's not good to edit because it like constantly causes low self-esteem and a lot of trouble in society.
So she edits her photos so that it's more dramatic, so that it's more clickbaity, and she knows this causes problems for people.
I'd rather have this like drastic, scary thumbnail. You guys click and then you realize you should be grateful and appreciative of your healthy body.
And let's be honest here. Was that a drastic and scary thumbnail? I mean, you're watching this video, say you're a young woman, you look at this photo and you're like, she's saying this is a drastic, scary thumbnail and she's fat. They're probably gonna look at themselves and compare and say, well, I don't even look as good as she does in the fat picture. I must be super fat, let alone be as thin as she is in the thin photo. So it's a bad message. It doesn't look good. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to give weight loss tips. Hey, here's 5 weight loss tips on how you can lose weight. I don't think that's bad. But when you say you're fat over here, and you say it's a scary thumbnail, and that you're editing the photos to make it look worse than it really is, and that you agree that it's a problem, so no, that scary thumbnail that you think is scary that isn't, people are not going to watch that and think, I'm appreciating my body. They're going to look at your photo saying fat and think, I'm fatter than her. I don't like my body anymore. It's going to create lower self-esteem, not better.
And how good it can feel if you eat fruits and vegetables, and that you don't need to calorie restrict and you don't need to go to the gym 7 days a week.
And saying to people, you don't need to go to the gym 7 days a week, that's fine. But you're literally promoting doing no cardio, avoiding the gym. It's in the thumbnail, no gym. And you're saying you don't promote calorie restriction? But how do you think you lose weight? Fast. A dramatic and severe calorie restriction. 17 pounds in 2 months. You have to be in a large calorie deficit to do that. A 1,000 calorie deficit a day would result in 2 pounds of fat a week. In 8 weeks, that's 16 pounds. So you would have had to have been roughly in a 1,000 calorie daily deficit to lose the weight that you did. Average woman's diet, 1,800 calories. So to lose that kind of weight, the average female probably have to eat about 800 calories a day. And I know you said you eat 1,500 to 2,000, but you're not tracking your calories. So how do you know that? You really think other people are going to lose the kind of weight you suggested in this video? Easy, no gym? By eating 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day? Just by doing your methods? Of course not. They would have to dramatically calorie restrict, starve themselves, not eat until they want to break up with their boyfriends and fire their editors. Does that sound like you're eating enough calories? Does that sound like you have plenty of energy? Does that sound like you're healthy?
And then my fifth tip is don't focus on food.
So let's see what she says in regards to how you don't focus on food.
After I finish eating, I'll think about my next meal, and I really don't like being that person because all I think about is calories and food and things like that, and I don't like doing that. I rather drink hot water, skip breakfast because I'm not hungry yet.
All she thinks about is calories and food and things like that. But she doesn't like that. So she drinks water instead, warm water. So better to skip breakfast. Because, by skipping breakfast, you then end up being starving. Ghrelin gets released, a hormone, a hunger hormone, makes you even more hungry. And then when you do end up eating, guess what? You can't stop. You can't put the fork down. That's why you should eat multiple meals a day with snacks, up to 4 to 5 meals a day for muscle protein synthesis to occur. Can't even say synthesis. But even if your goal is not to build muscle, if you're hungry, try eating.
I used to do that, and I feel like I just gained more weight because I would have 5 days of perfect, restrictive, 1,300 calorie eating, and then I would have 4 days of being out on the weekend. And
do you hear that? She would have 5 days of perfect 1,300 calorie restrictive eating. Then she'd fall off the wagon and start eating. You shouldn't look at it as being perfect restrictive eating. You're not meant to be restrictively eating. It's the way she's saying it. It's like you can tell she's not well. At least I would hope that most people don't think like this. It's not good to over diet, to think that you have to be perfect, to not be allowed to have a snack, to have to stick to 1,300 calories or else. Because eventually your willpower runs out and then you're going to binge, then you're going to feel guilty, you're going to then starve yourself again. Overly restrictive eating followed by binging, and overly restrictive eating, binging, back and forth. You need to have balance, to practice moderation, to go on a diet that's not really a diet. It's something you can stick to for the rest of your life.
If you want McDonald's, go through the McDonald's drive-thru. Order whatever you want. I'm talking if you want a Big Mac and a large fry and a Coke, order it. Try to eat half.
Do you really think that's going to work? When you go out, just order what you want and eat half. It's not great advice. How many people can stick to eating half? They're going to go to the restaurant and just eat half. So I have a skinny friend and she eats pizza, and I wondered, well, how do you get away with it? And she's like, well, I spread it out. I don't eat it all at once. And she's like, wow, that makes sense. Yet she promotes intermittent fasting, skipping meals and snacks to the point where she's starving. That's the exact opposite of what your friend is doing, where she's eating a little bit spread out. Spread it out.
Another tip I have is to not snack. I know that's like really a bad tip, but I've noticed that when there is no food in the house or the Airbnb or the hotel room or whoever I'm staying with, I don't eat.
So another tip I have is to not snack, and I know that's not a good tip, but that's my tip. It would be like me saying, hey, here's some advice. To lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Calories in, calories out. But here's my tip. Eat in a surplus to lose weight. That's literally the same comparison. Well, maybe not literally. I kind of use literally too much when it's not actually literal.
But when there is snacks in the house, I can eat 1,000 or 2,000 calories in snacks just while I'm editing, while I'm sitting here, while I'm playing on my phone.
And the reason you can eat 1,000 or 2 calories of snacks is because you don't eat enough. Because you're starving. Because you're trying to lose weight too quickly. Because you lost 17 pounds in 2 months. That's why your body is saying eat. You're trying to force it to be skinny. Probably, I don't know if this is true, because you're comparing yourself to other people and you feel fat when you're not. And you're looking at other YouTubers, Instagrammers, models, and so on, and you feel pressure to be skinnier when you already looked amazing.
Snacks do nothing for me. Like popcorn, they do nothing.
Now she's digging at me. Popcorn does nothing? Popcorn does nothing. That snack does nothing for her. Doesn't fill her up in the slightest. It's the exact opposite of that for everyone. I challenge her to show me that popcorn does nothing. Try and eat that 1,000 or 2,000 calories of popcorn. Smart popcorn. Let's see you do it. 200 calories per bag. I weighed it out. Not all the kernels pop. 200 calories per bag. It's a large bag. Try and eat 5 to 10 of those as a snack. Try it. Make a video. I challenge you. Blair Walnuts, let's see it. Have 5 to 10 bags of popcorn and then tell me how much you eat afterwards. Are you up for the challenge? Let's see you do it. Let's see. I believe I had 12 bags in a competition against Editor Steve, and I can out-eat almost anyone. Not Will Tennyson, but most people. And 10 bags of popcorn, 2,000 calories, is an absurd amount. 5 bags is a shit ton. Shit ton. Most females, 1-2 bags full, want to see you eat 5 bags and then say you're hungry.
We just have popcorn, dried mango, almond butter, like almonds, all of these like snacks.
Dried mango, almond butter, and nuts. That is not the same as popcorn. I could eat 1,000 calories of those things in 5 minutes. Popcorn, very filling. Very, very filling, high in fiber, low calorie dense foods. I suggest the next time you're hungry and you want a snack to grab a bag of popcorn and eat it.
So basically, these are all my tips. There is no calorie counting, no restricting, no gym, and nothing wild.
It's kind of funny because she's like, there's no calorie counting and no restriction. Well, it's true. She's not actually counting her calories, but she's saying there's no restriction. I just don't eat till I'm out of my mind starving at 4 o'clock. No restriction. I just can't ever eat snacks. And I hold off eating my first meal of the day till I can't handle it anymore. No restriction. And when I end that restriction, which isn't restriction, I can eat anything I want. Usually fruit and eggs. Do you get what I'm saying here? This is not a healthy example, a role model of what to watch if your goal is to lose weight. And let me tell you about my supplements. I don't actually know if they work or not, but let me talk about this one. I take diuretics. Diuretics are used to rid your body of water. She's taking diuretics because, well, can't you tell my legs are so swollen, full of water? No, we can't tell. You don't take diuretics to lose weight. Yeah, athletes do. She said athletes do. Maybe you compete in wrestling, the UFC, you have to make weight and you're taking diuretics to rid your body of water, which isn't healthy, but you're doing so to compete. Should the average person be taking diuretics to look skinnier? No, of course not. It's not healthy.
Another thing I have to recommend to you guys is make sure you're pooping every day. It is so important. I know sometimes it's embarrassing to poop in front of certain people. I have tips on how to poop around other people.
Oh, and I'm a woman. No one can know that I poop. I just have a hole. It doesn't get used for anything. So if I have to poop, I know I send my boyfriend or anyone around to go some stupid errand that I don't actually need them to do so that I can poop when they're not around. Or I'll leave the house and go poop somewhere else where they won't notice. Oh, and if I have to actually poop, I'll turn on the shower and pretend I'm showering and spray cologne over the toilet because heavens forbid I might make a smell. I might do something that shouldn't be done. I'm a woman. I'm female. I can't do these things. A little tip for you out there. Women poop. Women poop. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see her next video talking about the comments in the comment section and see if she addresses this because this was a horrible video. And again, I'm not hating on her. I'm correcting the misinformation as I feel, especially the younger audience who watches this, it's not going to be good for their self-esteem, their body image, and they might spiral down the wrong path. Please set realistic goals. Don't starve yourself trying to chase a physique that's not realistic for you. Also have coaching plans by me and my team, training plans. Subscribe, click that bell button, and until next time, I am out. A little tip for you out there. Women poop. Women poop.